Okay, so this tutorial steps you through tutorial 4 case 1, which is building a custom chart. Step 1 has you adding your stuff to the documentation sheet. I'm assuming you can do that. Step 2, to set up the chart, we're going to select the range A3 through D15. Notice I am not including the totals. Typically when you're doing a chart, you either want to include the totals or either don't want to include the totals or you want to only include the totals, but you typically would not mix the totals in with the rest of the data because it skews things, okay? And we're going to insert a 3D column chart. So insert column and 3D column chart. The last one, so that's this one here. Move the chart to a chart sheet named monthly visits. What that means is you're going to put it in a new sheet, which is specifically for the chart, and we'll call that chart sheet monthly visits. Okay, click OK, and now we have a nice big chart to work on. Change the style of the chart to style 42. Okay, so drop down here, we're going to find 42, which is this one. Again, if you don't have the exact same chart, something similar is fine, but that's style 42 for that, which is a black background and then different colored columns. That was step 4. Insert a chart title using the centered overlay title format. So that's on the layout ribbon, and we say chart total centered overlay, and the chart title is key 2013 census. Okay. So there is our chart title, and the font size should be 24 point. So I do that by selecting the text on the home ribbon, choosing 24 point, and remove the legend from the chart so that I tell it legend and none. Okay, so there's our chart for that. Rotate, let's see, nope, sorry. Add the title monthly visitors to the vertical axis. So that's axis title, vertical axis, and we want it to be rotated title, and we're going to call it monthly visits. Alright, and we want the font size, let's see, I'm going to select it to be 14 points. Okay, so there's our chart title. Rotate the 3D chart using the following parameters. Okay, so let's see, we want format or 3D rotation. Sorry, I right-clicked. That to me is the easiest way to get there. The x-axis rotation is 30 degrees. Oops, so we bump that up to 30. The y-axis rotation is 20 degrees, so we bump that up to 20. The perspective is 25 degrees, and the depth is 130. So we have that. Uncheck the right angles axis checkbox in the chart scales. Okay. Alright, so it wasn't checked on mine, so we're okay there. And then we close, so we have it kind of rotated a little bit more open. Modify the depth axis so the values are displayed in reverse order. Okay, so again, under layout, we have axis, depth axis, and we can say show reverse axis, and that flip-flops them so that the tall ones are in the back and they're not blocking the short ones. Insert a data table without legend keys below the 3D chart. So we choose data table, and we choose the option that doesn't have the legend keys. Okay, there we go, and there's our data table at the bottom. Change the fill color of the Visitor Center series to orange, so that's this one. And again, we can, series is visitor, there's the fill, we want orange, which I believe is that one. Yep, that works. And then in the park usage data worksheet, so we're going back to this worksheet here. We're going to select the range B3 through D3, and then hold down Control, select the range B16 through D16. That's a pie for our pie chart. When you're doing a pie chart, you only ever want to give it one range, and it's showing percent of totals. So in this case, we're looking at of all of the visitors, what percentage from the exit to the exit glacier, what go to the visitor center, and what percentage are others. So now we're inserting 3D pie chart, which is that one, and move the embedded chart to the monthly visit chart sheet. So we're going to use move chart again. This time we're going to put it as object in our monthly visits chart. Click OK. So there it is, but it's kind of taken up a lot of room. We don't really want that. We're going to insert the chart title total visits. That's a chart title. Above the pie chart, it's total visits. Enter. Undo that. Let's make sure I have the right chart selected. Now we're going to insert a chart title. Total visits. For that, set the font size to 16 points. Again, we got to select the font there. Select the font there. And I can actually go through this ribbon, font size to 16 points, and the font color to white. Okay, so it's going to disappear for a minute, all right, but not for long, so just sit tight. Change the color of the visitor center slice, so that's the slice right here. We want that one to orange, same as we did before. Remove the chart legend. Okay, so again, no legend there. From the pie chart, add data labels to the inside of each slice, displaying the slice's value. So data labels, inside end. Oops, I had the whole. Need to go back and select the whole thing. Data labels, inside end. Come on. All right, it's gonna make me do them one at a time. Why is it not? Back up for a second. There we go. Get rid of that. Okay. Under format, data labels, inside end. There we go. Okay. So now we have all of our data labels there. Change the fill color of the chart area to none. Okay. Again, right clicking is to be the easiest. I choose format chart area, and under fill I say no fill, and I click close, and now there's no background. And change the border color to no line. Okay, again, format chart area, border color, no line, and close that. And now we're going to take this over here, and we're going to size it in such a way that it kind of fits. Oops, let me move that all together. There. In the little corner of our chart. Okay, so we've got it embedded, we've got it resized, and we have our two charts go hand in hand. Okay, and then the last little bit is we go back to park usage data, and we're going to add data bars to B4, which is there, over to D, down to 15, and under conditional formatting I'd go to data bars, and it doesn't really matter which one you pick, whichever you like. You can go with, and then we're going to modify the rules. So again, conditional formatting, manage rules, data bar there, and we do edit rule, so that the maximum data bar, so here, is a number, and it's 100,000. Okay, click OK, and apply. And then our data bars are all kind of relative, same size relative to each other, so that's kind of why we do that. Data bar, save, and close. So that's the end of the tutorial. So you have a chart with your data bars, and you have a monthly visits chart that looks nice and colorful.